Oh boy, yeah. He back. He is back in the Netherlands. Not in Riyadh anymore. This is the first live stream, of course, after I came back from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Back in my office. Feels good. Feels good to be back in my office and do a live stream from home, not sitting in a small little corner in my hotel room with the bed behind. But I had a good time. And actually, that's something I will cover in today's stream as well. In the chatting section, I will go through my Instagram stories to update you as well about what I experienced in Saudi Arabia. But before we get there, we first do some Elliott Waves, as we always do, and some levels of interest. And yeah, then we get into the chatting section. So, I mean, those are the two things we're going to do. Planning to be online for about an hour, as usually is my plan. Now, sometimes it can be longer. It rarely ever is shorter than 1 hour. But planning to be online for an hour, and then I got to do some other stuff again. That being said, gonna put you guys on the screen here and say hi. Papa, how you doing? T-Rex, as your, I think, username thing is that I sometimes see in studio as well. Lucas didn't walk for a long time with your stream on. Ah, wait, you didn't walk last week when I was in Riyadh? Question mark. What's up, Kinko? What's up, Papa? Incredible Sub-Zero. We are live. We are live again, indeed. Stays on 2K16. How you doing? Welcome. Kenya watching. Good to have you here. Kenya was also there at the World Championships, by the way, last week. Stuba, by the way, Stuba. You got the logo behind, but I have no idea actually what membership thing you have, because I think in Discord you don't have any role. Am I correct? Because in Discord you are just, I think, yeah, you're just traders. I have no idea. But if I've done anything wrong or you need a role, then let me know. Confused here. I saw your comment here in YouTube in the chat, and I was like, wait a minute. In Discord you don't have a role, so I have to check that. I don't know, but good to have you around, Stuba. Good to have you here once again. Juicy Lucy, how you doing? I'm doing fine, thank you. I had a good morning. Christmas coming up, of course, family and friends time. We'll talk about that later in the chatting section as well. Buenos dias desde España, Madrid. Welcome, good to have you here. Hugo Roll Perez. What's up? Buenos dias. Buenos dias. Good to have you here from the Netherlands, back in Gouda. Very nice indeed. So, Jen Hartel. Love your insights. Thanks, Jen. Appreciate the kind words. Good to have you here as well. I'm doing good. I'm good, bro. Thanks. Yeah, I'm doing good. Ready to do some content this afternoon. Missed all your streams. Oh, boy. You had a busy week, Lucas. Eh? You had a busy week. Dasa Gaming, what's up? How you doing? Umar Hayat, how you doing as well? And Broncas, there he is. The one that always says gracias in the comment section. No, I don't need a role. Oh, wait, you got gifted. I see. But I said that with those gifted subs, if you send me an email, Stuba, with your details, I'll put you in the silver. Just like with the others that got gifted as well. So just send me a message. I need if you give me your YouTube username and your Discord username, and if you want Telegram, then I'll put you in there. So you can just DM me or send an email to koenstrading@outlook.com, preferably, because that's where I keep my administration stuff. And then I'll just put you in silver. Joe's Pimentel, let's make some cash. No financial advice, but you guys know, we're on YouTube, right? Gwendizu, welcome back. Thank you. I'm happy to be back as well. It's good to see you all while I'm now standing in my office once again, right? Actually being at home. Oh boy, we're going to chat about my experience. So I already prepped my Instagram page here with all the stories that I posted while I was in Riyadh. So first we're going to do Elliott Waves. And then I'm going to actually go through my stories to talk about my experience in Saudi Arabia and also what I did in Saudi Arabia, because I do realize many people, they know like, oh, Koen had to go to Saudi Arabia, but they might not exactly know why I had to go there and you know what I did. It wasn't a holiday. I was there for work as well. So I will go through my Instagram stories here and explain some of the stuff that we visited and that we've done there as well. But that is going to be the second part of the live stream. The first part is, of course, going to be Elliott Waves. What is your opinion on mining Bitcoin? Ooh, I have never mined myself, so I don't know what the risk reward is, and also the costs, like the investment necessary versus the reward of mining Bitcoin. So it's for me difficult to give you an answer. I've never done it myself. So difficult to know. Okay, let's start. The levels that I keep an eye on are currently on the chart. It's quite simple. Currently here, we're in, for me, a bit of like the middle of nowhere zone. Of course, from an Elliott Wave point of view, you can always count something, right? But I do like to keep an eye on my target boxes as well and support resistance areas. And one target box is above, but then below price here, besides the point of control that we have, which is the range. Where did I put that? Oh, here. Besides the range, the point of control, right? We are moving towards the upside, but for me, first real resistance is up here. First real support, if price moves down, is down here. Until that moment, we're basically going sideways in a bigger range. Of course, that's a very easy explanation of what we're gonna cover, because let's go over Elliott Waves. And we're going to start on the higher time frame. I also realize, because I was in Riyadh and I had to leave last week Sunday and I only arrived Monday, I did not cover a cycle macro high time frame update the past 2 weeks. So you can expect one this Sunday, which is that the 24th? Yeah, but I'll prep it. I'll just make it in the morning, because in the evening I'll be having dinner with my family. So, Elliott Waves. What I want to talk about is also this. Just prepping my folder here. I'm going to use this as well. Of course, we're going to talk about the range. That's interesting. The weekly gap, possibly. And then, of course, we're going to zoom in, right? Roller, welcome. Mike Freeman. How you doing, Mike? What's up? I never forget, Mike visited the Netherlands. Yeah, he visited the country, what was it, earlier this year. Very nice. I mean, it can only be earlier this year because the channel didn't exist yet last year. Okay, anyway, high time frame. Let's start. And because we are live and we are live streaming, I can elaborate a bit more on some of the scenarios and some of the thoughts. So, of course, in the videos, it's quite difficult to say too much because of time, right? I only have so much time to provide you with an update, usually around 10 minutes. But during a live stream, I can explain a few more things. You can also give your feedback, your ideas, your counts. I can look into them and that sort of stuff, so we can have a healthy discussion. Because in the end, I just happen to be the guy making videos, but I'm not the all-knowing guy, right? Quite often, or at least sometimes, you will see me putting a scenario on the chart with a name attached to it, because someone in Discord came up with a scenario, and then I'll just put your name up there. But at the moment, that's not the case. But let's go through the different scenarios. I want to start with the high time frame volume profiles before we actually go into the scenarios, because I do think this is important to keep an eye on. Because this volume profile from the range of 2021 was over here, a very important range. Of course, we've ranged here for quite a while. Yes, we had big moves above the value area high, but nonetheless, we have gone sideways here for quite a significant amount of time. And I just continue to think, like, yes, price is moving up here, but what are the probabilities for price to just do this and not see a retracement inside this volume profile? We have ranged here for so long that I think the probabilities are actually very high to range inside this volume profile for at least a couple of weeks, if not a few months, right? Before we then get either a kick to the upside and we continue a bull market for then a potential bigger wave 3, right? And then a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, or potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction in 2, 3, right? That is the Elliott Wave thought behind the volume profile. Or we're looking for a corrective structure in 3 waves to the downside, where this is your A, B, C, and then you want to see a move towards the downside. So you're going to see continuation to the downside, and then potentially a 1, 2, and much lower prices to come, or a 1, 2, 1, 2, boom. All right. So that is why the value area I have on my chart is so important to me. Now the 49.5k area is around that 50k zone, which is of course interesting in general. And what you see, and what I've done on purpose, is I put the high of the dotted line above 50k. It's around 52k, and it's not that 52k has the most amazing resistance per se. A little bit of a gap actually in resistance here, but it's more that I either want to fake out 50k or not reach 50k. That is what I'm looking for. I think it will be like low probabilities that we touch 50k, and inside the 50 to 51k area we reject and move to the downside, or you know, that would be quote unquote too easy. So I'm looking for either people to become too greedy because price is moving higher. They're thinking about all-time highs. They think they missed the train and missed the boat because price is not retracing. The only retracement we had here was a 382 retracement from the low to the high, which is very shallow, right? And throughout this move to the upside here, there's on a weekly time frame, there's been no retracements, right? It's just been going to the upside. Of course, on the lower time frames, there's been many opportunities to go long, right? There were many opportunities. Probabilities were constantly towards the upside as well. So there were many opportunities on the lower time frames, but from a more investment point of view, at the moment, there's no weakness. It's just moving to the upside. Another volume profile that I like to bring to your attention, in case you haven't yet seen it, is a volume profile of this range. So price, after ranging here for a while, moved to the downside sharply. Now we grinded our way to the upside, and actually you can see over here at this range we had a bit of resistance as well, right? Naturally functioning as an order block there. And then the next area of resistance would be this range over here. And we rejected at the value area high of that range on my chart here very nicely. Now we also have the point of control, 38.9k, which I think is very interesting support if price moves to the downside in potentially a flat structure, a WXY. We'll get to the lower time frame scenarios in a second, but the point of control is important support, which also functions a little bit as a support resistance area, I suppose, where you could say this area in general is an important support area, right? Resistance turning into support later on. If we get that move to the downside, the question is, do we get the deeper retracements? Yes, we had a bit of a move down here. Okay, well, 9-10%, but you know, it's nothing compared to the move that we have to the upside. So at least it's good to keep an eye on these levels, 44.7. Resistance 38.9, point of control 35.7, that is the value area low. The medium time frame becomes more interesting the more candles are being printed. Now there's a couple of scenarios I have in mind. Of course, throughout the videos and throughout the content, I tend to only show 2 scenarios, right? I don't want to make it too complex. Sometimes on the micro, I show multiple because it's important for the general context. But also in the medium time frame, there's a couple of ways one can count the structure to the upside. But for me, the 2 that I like to keep an eye on, look, either we're looking for retracement up for either a 5, right? I know some people have potentially done a 1, 2, and up, but generally you look for a move to the upside, and we know if it's a 4 or not based on a retracement. And you have the high of 5 is in, and you look for a bigger corrective structure. But we'll get there with more information. So the bullish scenario here, 5 waves to the upside. Currently, wave 4. Down here, so previously, for the ones that were here, I had like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then you have 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, that sort of stuff. Which means that for your green wave 2, this could be your low. Now, this is quite a short wave 2 compared to the potential wave 4. Taking a fib time from the high to the low of 2. Put it on top of the high of most of the charts have this candle as a high. I might have to go to a lower time frame here. There we go. Make sure we do this accurately as well. So far, this wave 4, time-wise, is perfectly fine. It's no problem, but we don't really want to see it go too far to like a 4. That would be quite a thing, which is the 30th. Oh wow, that's the end of the year. So preferably we're out of this range before the end of the year. If not, probabilities go down. We're in a wave 4 really. But at the moment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 still very much works. This looks very corrective as well so far. It doesn't look impulsive towards the downside. So probabilities on a medium time frame are higher to still see higher prices as well. Doesn't mean we can first go down, right? The moment that probabilities on a medium time frame are higher for upside, it doesn't mean we go up in a straight line. Look at the target area for your wave 4. You only touched the 236, which is a shallow target but common for a wave 4, right? 40.3k, but you still have the 382 and the 05 below. So the lower time frame scenarios that we come up with here will increase probabilities for continuation up or looking for a deeper prices and then a move to the upside. Now what I like is the 382 here, 37.6 is in confluence with the highs of this range. Remember the support resistance area. Remember the point of control at 38.7, 38.9 as well over here, right? It's, or was it 37? No, 38.7, 38.9. So that is just above. So it's just this area here. Very, very interesting support for Bitcoin, where after a 4, we're naturally looking for that wave 5, where I put a key, horizontal at 50k, because it's such an interesting level. Now the scenarios then where we could be looking for moves to the downside. Ta-da. 1 hour. First of all, for me, it still feels a little bit alternative, especially the A, B, C. So in this case, we're not going to see the double top that we have here. Well, on my chart, it's a double top because I have this wick, while I realize on other charts, there's no double top there, right? Because you don't have that wick, and this is actually the high. But I do not like this high because of the final move to the upside, which for me does not look like an impulsive structure. It looks very much corrective on lower time frames, which for me increases probabilities. There's some sort of a flat going on here, which is the reason why I also included a W. Because for an ABC, what we're looking for here is a 535, but if this is a 5-wave structure by itself in a wave A, this has to be the end of a higher degree wave 5. So this move has to be the end of a 5, and then you're going to be looking for an ABC. But as just mentioned, I don't like to count this as an impulse. And a wave 5, if this is your 4 here, this is then your 4, this is your 5. A wave 5 by itself should also be an impulse. Right, so you want to count 5 waves to the upside here, but it's a big struggle to count 5 waves in there. You really have to force something, and it doesn't look nice, a lot of overlap. So that's why for me, an ABC here is an alternative. In a 5, corrective structure, 5. Now I don't like to put B or X on top of this high over here, because for me the probabilities, and from an Elliott Wave point of view, because what I like or not like doesn't matter, right? The chart is not moving based on my preference. But ending the corrective structure of B or X at this high has low probabilities from an Elliott Wave point of view. And the reason is, 1, we hit the 0.618 locally. So for a potential wave C, if we think about an A, B, C, and B is in and we look for C down, C is an impulse. So we want to count an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means also wave 1 should be an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We never got 4, we never got 5. Instead, we ended the move on the highest amount of volume, very wave C-ish. Then price moved to the upside, and instead of a 4, 5 on lower volume, it hit the 0.618, invalidating a wave 4, increasing probabilities. It's a 3-wave structure, which increases probabilities twofold. Either increases probabilities to take the highs, but also increases probabilities to possibly continue ranging, which therefore means the B and X high in this scenario is either going to be up here or it's going to be somewhere here. But we don't know yet, right? We have to wait patiently. We also have a double top over here, which is literally a double top by a few dollars. High number 1, high number 2. This is a lower high, 43,475, right? So it's a pool of liquidity. And you also have the resistance box right above, literally just above the double top. You also have the resistance area here, which, as shown at the beginning, has the red line is the point of control of this range. And then you have a weekly and daily right on top of each other at 43,793, right? And just above a daily. But this is like an interesting area, right? So, wait, I want to clean my chart. So that is the reason why for me BRX, it's not yet in this particular scenario, right? And the fact the 0.618 is hit increases probabilities to take the double top or continue ranging in that case. Now, as you can see, I also have a WXY, but it's the same. W would then be a flat. Then you look for eventually an X or an X complex structure in this case. And after X, you look for a Y. And because W is a flat, wave Y can be a flat, zigzag, or a triangle. Patience. We don't know yet what it's going to be because first we need to wait for X to be in. Now, another reason why for me over here, right, this is not really a high probability of being the low is also because if we look at this structure now, it looks corrective. No, we have a 3-wave to kick things off. Then we have a lot of overlap and a move to the downside here. And we got a move to the upside. Now, if we want to count this as some sort of a WXY, and this is what I can't say in videos. Welcome, Marcus, by the way. Nice green badge. I love the badge. Welcome. Good to have you here. Actually, he's the first ever member on the channel, and he's still hanging around, this guy. The problem here is that W here is a zigzag. And in a sideways double combo, so a sideways WXY, if W is a zigzag, wave Y is not allowed to be a zigzag. So if I would move wave X down here, right, then this starts to look potentially pretty much like a zigzag. But that's not allowed in Y, because W is already a zigzag. Y can only be a flat or a triangle, which means either you want to see an A, B, C, D, E, where all of the waves have to be zigzag family structures, or you want wave Y to be a flat and then an A, B, C. We're not down here, we're up here, right? So that is why I then change X to the higher low here, where then possibly you have this flat structure, right? A, B, C. However, wave B is very deep. If we take a fib from the low of X to the high of A, just for the sake of clarity, this is your flat. Just so that I put it on the chart so everyone can follow. This is then your ABC. For a wave B, the most common target is between the 1.236 and the 1.38. But you can see the 1.618, which is a less common target for B, has been passed. Multiple candles closing below the 1.618, lowering the probabilities that this low is the low of a B and that the move up eventually is then a wave C. Right. Another thing here is that your wave Y did not even hit the 0.618. In a WXY, the most common target area for Y is the 1 to the 1.236, taken from the low to the high of W to the low of X. The 0.618 is also still a common target, a little bit less common, but still common. But as you can see, it's not yet been hit, lowering the probabilities for this WXY to be the correct count. In an ABC, if we're looking for B or X to be an ABC, then we're looking for a 335 flat structure. But wave B didn't hit the 0.9 Fibonacci taken from the low to the high. What do we want to see? If we think about a flat, wave B retracing to at least the 0.9 Fibonacci. It's a minimum. On my chart, it didn't. I do realize that on Binance, I believe, for example, it wicked into the 0.9. The problem is, for me, it didn't on my chart, so I don't like it, right? And then you got a C to the upside, but then C didn't take the high of A, which means you have then a running flat structure, which is also something we don't like to see unless we go into a diagonal, right? But the problem now with a diagonal is that you want all of the waves to be a zigzag structure, which means this has to be a zigzag somehow at the moment. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get an ending diagonal structure, and that is then your wave C. right? And you don't want to see the invalidation hit, by the way. So still has potential, but not at the moment something I'm very excited about just yet, right? Just yet. Cool. If you, by the way, if you guys have any ideas, put them in Discord, right? I'm happy to cover them on stream as well. So, oh yeah, and then we have the triangle, but I'm never a big fan of triangles, as some people know. They're actually very rare. Good Elliott Wave triangles are not common, in contrast to what you sometimes see on YouTube. Everything, at the moment, people can draw 2 trend lines. They're like, triangle. Yeah, it's not really how it works, right? But yeah. A, B, C, D, E. Your D is very short compared to your A, B. B also looks complex over here, which is not allowed, or very, very, very low probabilities. All of the waves in a triangle have to be zigzags, A, B, C, D, E. Wave E by itself can also be a triangle, which means you can have a triangle in a triangle. And if one of the waves is complex, it's usually C or D with then a double or triple zigzag structure, and not B. But here we cannot count a nice zigzag here in a 5-3-5. Lowering the probabilities, this B structure is a zigzag, which lowers the probabilities of this whole triangle. So let's skip that. Okay, boom. There we go. Then we go to the more bullish and then bearish scenario, and then I want to end with the most bullish scenario, which GZ also posted in Discord, which is a scenario I once covered in a video in the past, but I'll come back to that. So here we're looking for price moving up and down to still take the lows, the double bottom that we have over here. In this scenario, we are looking for this to be a 3-wave structure, labeled as a wave A, but this time it's a 3-wave A. Flat in A or W. And because we think about a 3-wave A, we can think about a flat structure. A, B, C, which means you want to see price at least hit the 0.9, which is just above the 886 over here for a potential flat. An expanding flat, however, is most common, which is the reason why you will always first see this target area on my chart, the 1.236 to the 1.38. Most common target area for a wave B in an expanding flat. Now for a wave X, above price, because probabilities generally are a bit higher, right, to move towards the upside because of the 0.618 hit, as mentioned earlier. Above the double top that we have here, right, high number 1, high number 2, double top, we have this potential wave X area as well, in confluence with the target box that we have just above with the confluences inside. If we can move above this, I'd be looking for the yellow area, which is in confluence with the yellow target box, now 45.2k, 46k. So that is interesting. Wave X can also go above the origin of wave W. So this can still be WXY, right? For an ABC, it's a 3, 3, 5. In a WXY, it's a 3, 3, and then another 3 to the downside. So that is something we have to keep in mind if price moves up. But if price moves above the blue box here, I'm personally looking for the yellow box above. We'll jump to the very low time frame in a second. This is the medium time frame bearish scenario, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I know. Lower probabilities at the moment for me. As long as we don't see a clear sign of weakness and you know, strong moves to the downside, probabilities are higher to keep going to the upside, which is on the medium time frame, the higher probability scenario. On the 1 hour here, this is the range that we are in. Rejected at the value area high 3 times now. Also visited the value area low a couple of times. We also have an 886 bounce, as you can see over here, taken from the low to the high. So any move going to the upside here is a higher probability generally to be a wave C or a Y, which means that therefore the probabilities are higher even if price would move to the upside to come back down at a later stage to take the double bottom. And that is why, also translating in the probabilities that I then mentioned in the morning video, I changed them a little bit after the video, I think, but the probabilities in the video, which are still pretty much the same, is medium time frame, we're looking for upside. On the low time frame, we are at the moment still eventually looking for the lows over here, but on a micro, the 0.618 is hit, which increases probabilities to reach the double top or continue ranging, and then we get more information. And because we are in an area where not too much is happening at the moment, that is why at the beginning of the stream, I had this on my chart. Simply said, area of interest, area of interest. Now, of course, you need your plan, your strategy, your entry requirements, and possibly over here, you can trade with the plan that you have. But for me, areas of interest to observe the reaction are up here and down here. And if my plan, of course, gives me an entry at a certain moment, I will enter, right? So patience is always necessary. Have a plan, entry requirements, check the boxes, and then we make a decision. So, yeah. Medium time frame probability is higher to continue to the upside. On the low time frame, which is like pretty much like 4 hour, I suppose, 1 hour to 4 hour, just looking at this whole range, the probabilities at the moment would still be higher because of the corrective nature we got off this low here as well, would be higher to look for the lows or continue ranging, while locally on a micro, we would preferably be looking for the highs first. Doesn't mean we do this. This, it looks like a three-wave structure, right? As mentioned, 0.618 hit, increasing probabilities. This is a three-waver, which automatically increases the probabilities to look for this high because this is a corrective structure down. So 3, potentially continuation, right? It's on the cards. And if price does, did it wick the high? Not yet. If price does fall, I'm looking for support here and move up. Preferably take the highs first before looking for lows. And if price takes the highs, eventually, if it does, that's when we're going to observe the reaction and assess the probabilities again. So let me put this on the chart and then go into chatting and see what you guys are up to and the ideas that you have as well. Feel free to tag me in Discord as well. Okay, by the way, CVD divergences, let's have a look here. Another reason why for me on the medium time frame, higher prices, by the way, are still expected above the high that we have here at like 45K is because if this really would have been the high, right, this here, I want to see bigger bearish CVD divergences. At the moment, we don't. We don't have any bearish CVD here. I also don't like the fact I got this wick. For me, it's like a double top on my chart. You know, it's ugly. The highs over here also didn't end at a solid resistance area. I didn't have a target box here, and you know, it's very uncommon for price to really pivot at one of, like in the middle of nowhere, in between my target boxes. But also CVD here. We are ranging, but CVD keeps moving down. So there's still a lot of absorption of market shorts with limit longs. So it still gives bullish pressure. Yes, we move down sometimes, we move up, we move down, right? The general pressure is still towards the upside. We did not see any big bearish CVD divergences like here. Lower high on price, higher high on the CVD. Not even close. Huh? Not even close. So at the moment, yeah, that is also another additional bit of confluence there, I'd say. So yeah, that being said, anything else? Locally, oh yeah, locally here, by the way, I have the CVD folder, I didn't even use it. So here we go. We did have some CVD divergences, bullish CVD divergences, higher low in price, lower low on the CVD, target would be this high. We also have bullish CVDs here, by the way, higher low in price, lower low on the CVD, target is this high, which is pretty much the same, right? And we have a small little bit of bearish CVD, and if price can take this high, that would be invalidated. So and it's, no, we didn't yet take the high. 15, zoom in. Ooh, almost. Now also the fact here that we now hit the Yeah, the fact that we hit the 886 multiple times does increase probabilities to take this high. If we take this high, we might take this high and then invalidate the bearish CVD, potentially. For now, though, we just wicked a double top that we had. Oh no, it was a single top. Interesting range, no? Now we have a double top here as well. What I don't really enjoy seeing is that we ranged there for quite long instead of continuing. So it doesn't really look impulsive, right? If you know what I mean. It looks like a corrective structure to the upside and not an impulsive structure to the upside at the moment. Which could lead to price visiting the daily and the daily naked point of control. But we do have the bullish CVDs. So I prefer looking towards the upside first, unless we see clear signs of weakness. We hit the 886 multiple times here as well. So taking this high would be a start and then take it from there. Uppala. It's getting quite sunny here. Uppa. Okay. How are you doing, chat? What's up? How are you doing? How are you trading? What are your expectations? Share your charts in Discord. For me, probabilities here. Also, summarize probabilities, medium time frame up. Low time frame, eventually looking still to take the double bottom. But on the micro locally, right? The 0.618 has been hit, increasing probabilities to look for the upside or continue ranging. But I would like to see the double top taken. It's like a magnet for price. Jeez. Chat. There we are. Where were we? Brother, can you please look at the USDT dominance? USDT dominance. Let me at least write it down. So I wrote it down. Can visit it later. Sol and AVAX. I know many more altcoins. Marcus, what's up? How you doing? Could it be a WXY which will extend to 44.45? By the way, let me make this clear. If you would like to see an altcoin, right? It would be like quite respectful to ask a question instead of just dumping your like, oh, I want to see Sol, AVAX or AVAX and whatnot, right? You want to see something like I'm not your pet. So either you do it yourself or you just ask a nice question. It's not difficult to be respectful online. So, and besides, I'm mainly doing Bitcoin. So could it be a WXY which will extend to 44.45? 44.45, yes. Yes. WXY, because wave X can go above the high of W, and it can definitely also go to the 44K area, but we need some power, and that's what I mentioned just now. Is what I don't like is that we have been ranging here for quite a bit now, so I would like to see a little bit of spice coming in, right? I have no problem with like a retracement and then moving up. Like probabilities, I would support like this is a three-wave structure. Corrective move down. Makes me think, by the way. GZ, he's a great Elliott Wave analyst as well. And so he had an account here. You can see it, right? Let me open it in the browser. So he had an account here. It's just I just want to look at 4 in a potential WXY, finishing Y here. Look for a move to the upside. So basically, could it be that easy, right? WXY, end of. I covered this once in a video where I was like, could this be the end of your wave Y, right? And then you're looking for price to move to the upside. Now in that case, because W here is then a flat, X is your zigzag, right? So you have a flat, zigzag, and then wave Y can be a flat, it can be a zigzag, and it can be a triangle. Now clearly it's not a triangle. A zigzag is also pretty difficult to count here in a 535, right? It doesn't look like a nice zigzag at all, and a wave Y cannot have an internal WXY. So we have to think about a flat. where then it's an A, B, and then a wave C. So from this moment here, right, this is your 5-wave structure. This is your C in that case. So somehow we need to like be able to then 1, 2, 3, 4, somehow we need to get a 5-waver in. Besides the fact it doesn't look really nice, what I struggle with is time. If this is, let me put this on the chart. If this is your A, this is your B, and that's your C, and I take a fib time from the beginning of A to the end of B, and I double click, then you can see that the end of C is 4.5, or at least C wave, the C wave, right? This wave is about 4.5 times longer in time than A plus B, which is not something you like to see. That would be very unusual for a wave C. Now, I would agree with, hey, a flat here might be the only structure that could fit. Somehow we still need to get a 5-waver in here. 1, 2, I don't know, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to put effort into trying to count this as a 5-wave structure at the moment. But also time-wise, C is very long. So it just lowers the probabilities a bit of the low here being in, of this being the actual low. But because probabilities locally are good to move up and look for the resistance here, we have the double top, 0.618 has been passed, right? We can observe the reaction. If price moves to the upside first, we simply observe the reaction and we either look for continuation or resistance. No? We got bullish CVD divergences everywhere as well, and I never really enjoy going against the CVDs as well. So that is why looking for upside is more interesting from a probabilities point of view. So yes, Ahmed Mert, that would be correct. Yeah. Can you look at ETH? I think we look. I wrote it down as well, so we can have a look at that a bit later. Togatoni, how you doing? Sunny Gouda. Leiden is cloudy. I mean, honestly, it's cloudy here as well. It just happens to be the sun shining through the clouds sometimes. So KSM ship. I wrote them down, Roberto Pinto. Welcome, by the way. Good morning. Good morning for you. Good morning for you. Good afternoon here. I wrote down KSM ship. Thanks. And appreciate your kind words. What's up, Yasir Ali? Hello, sir. My question is, can double flat happen in a double 3? Yes. A double flat so a flat in W and a flat in Y is allowed in a sideways double combo. What is not allowed in a sideways double combo is a zigzag in W and a zigzag in Y. In a sharp WXY, also called a double zigzag, you want a zigzag in wave W and wave Y. But that is a sharp corrective structure to either the down or the upside, while in a sideways double combo, we talk about a range, right? So you're correct. A double flat can happen in a double 3, but a double zigzag or you can't have a zigzag in W and Y in a sideways double combo. I don't know EGLD actually, so I wouldn't know the answer on this question until I maybe look. But doing a count on an absolute new chart takes a lot of time in Elliott Waves, but at least I noted it down. Ahmed Mert, time comparison in this situation can misguide you due to the appearance of the weekend. So with Elliott Waves, I never really focus on weekend or the days. Because in the end, the waves, also what happens in the weekend is relevant for the structure of how the waves are formed. Same with impulses and corrective structures. It's a good comment, of course. You got to take it in account in some way, but I never do with Elliott Waves as the ranges you tend to get in the weekend are very important for probabilities down the line. Okay. Now, before we go into my chatting section and exploring what I actually did in Riyadh, as I want to show you why I was actually there, right? And why the content plan was different, let's have a very quick look at a few things that were mentioned, and then I got to continue, right? I have no idea if this is the right chart. Oh, I have a very old, I think. Let's have a look here. I mean, it's not going bad. It is moving towards the downside here. Okay. Okay. So basically, dominance-wise, well, I guess looking for a bit more downside here before then moving to the upside once more. Then we had ETH. Where is it? Oh wait, maybe it's in my watch list that I never watch. I have somewhere I have a chart with counts. Oh, it's this one. It's always nice, you know. I sometimes keep an eye on something. I have one white line here, and I have no idea what it means. And I have an alarm as well. I have a lot going on in my folder here. Okay, golden pocket. We have, probably it's because of a range or an order block, this white box. And the white lines probably have to do with a gap as well, the high of a gap. So it must be resistance. So I guess I was looking for at least 2,444 at a given moment, which is what we almost reached. So also an ETH, still be looking for a bit higher. Let me actually go up in the time frames. Yeah, we're also in this gap here. 1 second, monthly time frame. Yeah, I prefer to see at least 2,444 hit. And we're so close to the golden pocket now as well. 05 has already been passed. Was respected shortly. So preferably on ETH, looking for higher. Now from an Elliott Wave point of view, this would be mark 1, 2. 382 touch for wave 2 is of course not too common, but we are in a weekly time frame, so ABC impulse to the downside has low probability for me. WXY, just try to remember what I did here. So on ETH, I personally would still be looking for price to move up based on the confluences that we have above, right? And this structure, like the most bullish one would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you get a very big 3. But your volume looks shit. Or you're thinking about a diagonal. Let's see, wave 5, diagonal contracting. Yeah, the resistance area is still below the 1-to-1 at 3030. That would be the invalidation. If you hit this level, you would invalidate a potentially diagonal here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, big retracement, and then you move up in a 3 in a bullish scenario. In a bearish scenario, you're counting this as a WXY. It must be corrective, or an ABC. But in these scenarios, we're still looking for higher. So, you know, that's the thing. I'm just quickly having a look. Wait, beep. Okay, price moving to the upside, but hey, that is what we're looking for. Holy moly, this chart looks very ugly. What a move to the downside. Okay, so this is the low on the chart. So what I would recommend in this case is you just start counting from the low. The moment you can count an impulse, there might be an opportunity. If not, then you have a problem, no? Okay, we might have here 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, potentially 1. Oh, 5 almost hit. Well, with the probabilities of Bitcoin still moving up, of course, it likely will take the count or the coins with it. Possible flat here to could finish it too, or a bearish one would be an ABC, no? This is a very high. This is a bit of an issue here. You have overlap, so it can't be a normal impulse. Also here overlap, so that's not nice. I love technical analysis. Guess where we reject it. Can be so beautiful, no? And this looks at the moment like a support resistance flip here. So as long as you're not quite simply, before I go into Elliott waves and stuff, right? You don't really need to. As long as you hold this box, you look for upside. You lose this box, you're gonna fall in this range. I'll be looking for downside. Quite simple, I suppose. Oh wait, I think once upon a time we had a shibby. It's already a while ago as well. Oh, we literally have nothing, just a fixed range. Okay. Oh, point of control move to the downside. That might be quite bullish, actually. If price moves up, it might change the point of control to these peaks here, but for now it's down here, so you passed it. Okay. Point of control off. Is this a double bottom, or what do we have here? What is the low? Is this both the same price? 600, 676, and yeah, it's a double bottom. Wow. One, two. Okay, you didn't touch the 886. That's good. Quite an awkward structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's an opportunity here to count a 5-wave structure and then get a bit of an A, B, and then a C down in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? A, B, C. 786 retracement as well. Pretty much on top of the 0.618, which is a target for a C. So you could have either a 1-2 up or an A, B, C up. Of course, with regards to Bitcoin again, if we expect still higher prices to come, probably SHIB will move to the upside as well. Okay. Nice. Point of control. High volume node anyway here. Okay, 1-to-1 retracement, not bad. It is a bit of an awkward structure here to the upside. No, if you think about potentially 1-2 up or A, B, C, you want to count an impulse. This move has the highest amount of volume before you get a bigger retracement. So from an Elliott wave perspective, you preferably want to have that high as a wave B, not a wave 5. Else it would be ABC-ish, right? A, B, C, but that would be bearish. Unless you are creating a diagonal. 1-2, 1-2 up. ABC, ABC. Like another, three-way structure, but I think that's longer now. This is a pain in the ass chart, this one. Yeah, it is. It is longer. That's not a... Then we have to think expanding diagonals, which is rare. So then I prefer a normal impulse. Golden pocket hit. I also don't like this as an A, B, C because B is so incredibly high. Like, holy moly, it's so high. So, based on the time of this, I would like this as a separate, like either another 1-2 up or... But counting this as a solid impulse, you can see how annoying this is, right? On this chart. Mm-hmm. One, two, 1-2. What could you get? Another 1-2. Stay above this line for now. Key. I'm gonna label that as key. It's very difficult to count this on the lower time frame and not having much time because of the live stream, right? So I mean, because of Bitcoin as well, in the back of my mind, the probabilities would be to see higher prices, rejecting at the point of control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. Up. Yeah, so the key level I have here, and also this then as an invalidation. So this high could be corrective. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 wave A, 3 wave B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 C. 3. This looks like a 3 as well. Unless it's a running flat and your low is already in. This could work as well for a wave B. So we could think about A, B, and then C. Potentially C is in, or you still get another C. If C is in, it's a running flat, which is the rarest flat pattern. So yeah, these are just some of my thoughts here. And then finally, before I go into sharing my Riyadh story. Is this all? I want to see the most history. Oh, definitely not there. Okay, well, I guess we'll just do this. Wait. When I do Elliott Waves, I tend to be quiet. Because it takes a lot of focus to count and do the waves, you know. Okay. It's a very, very, very long C if this would be your A, B, C. That would be a bullish scenario though. Checking if wave 3 is not the shortest, which it is not. This would be the bullish scenario. Wow, right on top of the golden pocket. And also on top of this order block. Wow, what brilliant confluence. Holy moly. That would have been a limit order. Literally the only weekly order block in this whole move to the upside. I mean, you must have seen that, right? You cannot miss the order block here. Jeez. Ooh, that is a very deep retracement locally though. That's a bit... It didn't take the low, but it's definitely an 886 retracement here, which is not common for wave 2, but based on the move we got afterwards, this doesn't look like an ABC. Wave C is very, very long, so it does look like an impulse structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Possibly you're going to be looking for some. It's quite similar to Bitcoin in this case. where you're going to be looking for another high, 5, expect a retracement. And if that's the case, you're looking for support. 500 from the low to wherever the high is. Oh, okay, we had a weekly here. Support resistance flip as well. Support resist, quite simply, let's put this on the chart here. Support resistance, right? If you can pass this, you have very limited resistance here till you get to this range. So then this would be the next area of interest. So basically you could get quite a steep move up all the way to a 111 if you pass the box. So preferably retest it, no? And then you're going to be looking for this area here where the point of control would be my main area of resistance here. There we go, which is 154. So, but because you might get, also with Bitcoin, might get a potential 5 in, you might dip above, but then reject. So you might get a fake out. So preferably I would like to see a retest. Weekly is resistance, you move above, you retest, and then potentially move up. If you lose the retest, it's a very simple support resistance trade. Move above, you know, potential entry, stop loss below, move to the, no financial advice. I mean, come on, we're on YouTube, right? We're not at the bank. So quite simple. If stop loss is triggered, you look for a bigger retracement. Arguably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential. Also volume wise, you made a new high here on lower volume, but it's a bit difficult to know if this wave 3 should move up here, and this is going to be your 4 and then 5, but I would be looking for another high. So yeah, there we go. Those were the first few that were requested. So now I quickly explain what I actually did in Saudi Arabia. By the way, for the people that just joined, the analysis was at the beginning of the stream. So hopefully you like me doing a little bit of live Elliott Wave stuff as well. Holy moly. A lot of orange. I like the orange color though. Sol. Okay, let's do Sol because I actually think we were looking for... Okay, we're almost there. For regarding Solana, we were looking in all scenarios to the upside. I would like things like all-time high. I would I would not think about that stuff. Take it step by step, level by level. Before you reach all-time high, you have incredible resistance. Before the end of the year, you only have 11 days left, right? Look at the weeks here. Look how many weeks this move up is. Look how far you still have to go. You know what I mean? So I personally, as you probably know, like the moment I talk about all-time high, the only reason why I sometimes mention all-time high is because I want people to get greedy. Make them greedy, make them think about all-time high, and then wreck them so hard they get stopped out. They become fearful because price moves down. That is the moment to load up, and then you go to all-time highs. Like, we moved up so fast. I would love to see either a fake out or, you know, make people greedy, make them buy before them stopping them all out. You know what I mean? So I'm not thinking about all-time highs here, but we were thinking about a move to the upside. All of my scenarios, all of them on Solana had a move to the upside. So I did this during a coin coverage stream in gold already months ago. And potentially here, the low of 2. In this scenario, low of Z, we look for upside, right? In this scenario, low of A, we look for a B. Golden pocket to 786 area was the level of interest because of the confluences. So here we are now. In this scenario, end of CY, we look for a move to the upside. Here, we look for a 1, 2, 3 or an ABC. We were also looking for a move to the upside. So basically what I'm looking for here is observing the reaction in this area, the blue box plus the monthly and the weekly. That is what should be the priority on Solana there. Yep. Okay. That was it regarding the altcoins, everyone. I don't have like crazy amounts of time. Can you analyze Bitcoin again? No, please. I like the question, but please move to the beginning of the stream, as there I was doing the analysis on Bitcoin and the probabilities because of the 0.618 hit locally. Here, probabilities increase to take the high or continue ranging, but taking the high was definitely something we're looking for. So let's see if we get it. No. Because of the 618 invalidating an impulse down, and because this then becomes a corrective structure in an ABC, it automatically increases probabilities to move back up. But what's up, Mil Lawrence Yugadora? Welcome, by the way. Hytham 911 Porsche. What's up? How are you doing? What about? I won't go into the altcoins again because of time. But ask me next time again. Thanks for the great update again. Going forward, I've got to go enjoy the day. And yes, of course, I gave this stream a like. Thanks, Mark. Hope you're good. Thanks for the updates. Bye-bye. See you, Abdul Karim. Can you CVD data of BNB? I don't have the CVD of BNB, and because I don't like trade BNB myself, it would be something I suppose you can if you know how to read CVD and how to make a CVD, you can very easily read the CVD yourself as well. Make sure to watch my CVD video where I explain about how CVD works. By the way, also we had, of course, on Bitcoin all the bullish divergences all the time, increasing probabilities for a move up. Nice job on the long, Roberto Pinto, by the way. Do a triplet. Very good on. Yeah, Ethereum leading diagonal might be a possibility. As long as it doesn't hit the 1-to-1 of 4.5, right? Because then it goes too high. That was 3.30k. I bet Flotty is in the chat now. Breakout happening on SHIB. Yeah, as long as you don't lose that level, I'd be looking for a move to the upside. Bitcoin moving up indeed. Watty, what's up, Watty? Pleasure, Roberto. Yeah, I won't look at it now, but it's good to know. Theta. ICP in a defending triangle, but looks like it's going to break a Bitcoin pumping. That's true. Can you analyze gold, sir? That's an original one. I've actually never done gold. Remind me next time, Gerard. Would be fun to have a look at gold. I think I've never ever looked at the chart, but I like doing a whole count takes a lot of time. So I can't do it now because of time. We're already online for quite a while now. 1 hour 16 minutes, and I do have some other business stuff to do as well. Bitcoin 44k potentially, yes. I mean, probabilities were higher to move up to the resistance above because of, first of all, of course, from an Elliott Wave point of view, the 618 was hit, invalidating a wave 4 for potential impulse down, which increases probabilities. This is a 3-wave structure, increasing probabilities you move towards the upside. Secondly, we have bullish divergences literally everywhere. So yeah, could be. I'll do XRP also. Like Martin, ask me in Discord. We can do that in a live stream. What are you, silver, gold? We can do it in both silver or gold. I have to do a silver stream again soon, and do some altcoins with silver. What's up, Flotty? How you doing? So yeah, tag me in Discord. I'm diamond, man. I'm so confused. Because of the names on YouTube and what I see in diamond, gold, and silver, I don't know anymore by reading YouTube who is what. So I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry, I don't recognize. What's your nickname in diamond? Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's difficult to know. Oh yeah, Visa. By the way, everyone, please congratulate Visa for selling his business. Now that you say Visa, I immediately know. So clap or hearts or whatnot. This guy sold his business. Congratulations to him, which is an amazing achievement. Building a business is achievement 1. Like, it's very difficult to build a business, but selling it, congrats. Yeah, please change your name to the Discord name. Oh, no worries. Lucas is also like not super psycho on YouTube, but I know now that Lucas is super psycho, so I just have to get in my mind Martin is Vissa. However, it's the first time I see you now here in the chat after you became a member again, so I need to remember. Building an analysis is difficult. Laws are shit. I know. What's up, Errol Suleiman? How you doing, man? How are you doing? Okay, let me quickly go over. I know, like, people, of course, now that price is pumping, go to the beginning of the video and you'll know what we're looking for as the probabilities were towards the upside. Looks like we are gonna take the double top here. Let me do this. I'll put this on the left, and then I put Instagram on the right, and we do a little short chat to inform you about what I've actually done while keeping an eye on the chart as well. Because I was in Riyadh, and I got many questions about what you're actually doing there. Why do you have dinner with the Prince of Saudi Arabia? Like, whoa, look at that hotel. And so I got comments on Instagram. So I just, I'll quickly do a little bit of explaining, I suppose. Hey, Ardavan Avruz, thank you for being here. Welcome as well to the channel. I appreciate it. And Errol Salaman. Errol Sullivan, how are you doing? How are you doing? Are people making use of this nice pump to the upside here? What's up, Sikkim MLBB? Nifty 50. So I know this guy always asks the Nifty 50. So I went to Riyadh because I'm a board member of the Global Esports Federation, and there was a World Championship there that we organized from the Global Esports Federation with over 100 member federations, 250 athletes there as well, esports players, gamers, whatever you like to call them. And my first day I was able to at least spend a little bit of time in the city. So I went to the Kingdom Tower where you can walk upstairs. So up here is like you have like a sky view from Riyadh. So this is Kingdom Tower, so you can walk all the way up there, which is pretty nutty, like pretty nice view indeed. And now I have no idea where I am. I might not have to I might have to do this differently, but we'll figure it out. And then my Uber driver, this guy, became my tour guide. Like, somehow, whenever I go to a city in the world for like work-related stuff, I have a like they pick me up, like a driver picks me up, brings me to the hotel, and then I tend to go sightseeing on the first day, so I jump in an Uber, and somehow the Uber drivers in the end are always the ones showing me around, which is great. So then I went to the historical city here as well in Diriyah. So really cool environment, very impressive. It's actually a UNESCO World Heritage site as well. And this is the guy, my Uber driver became my tour guide, Mr. Sultan. Great guy. I got him on WhatsApp now. So if you want a tour or you need an Uber, I can give you the number. Then I had a board dinner with the Global Esports Federation in the Movenpick Riyadh hotel. Man, it was crazy. Like, we're sitting there and we get like food and stuff. And we couldn't choose the menu, but the moment they put meat on my chart, I got like the person serving said, "Here's your Black Angus." I was like, okay, are we doing this now? Like, it's always Global Esports Federation stuff. It's always quality. It's amazing. Board meeting. We had a board meeting as well there. I'm part of the board. I'm a vice chair of the Athletes Players Community Commission, which is what you saw there. And here I got re-elected for the board for another 4 years. So I'm re-elected to be in the board for another 4 years, which is of course quite cool. Now, World Championships, I'll click through it. Netherlands was there, of course. Dutch weather. The gym, I love visiting the gym, right? Gotta be healthy. Also when traveling, not only doing work. This is basically a summarization of Saudi Arabia. Look at the amount of cranes. It's ridiculous. They are building everywhere. Saudi Esports Arena is where we were at. Lots of food, lots of nice stuff. pretty nutty. And this was like the party area eventually later in the night. We were just walking around here. So I was here for the Global Esports Federation. We have a couple of tours that were planned, and then we have the championships as well. For everyone joining, by the way, just now go to the beginning for the analysis. We're now in the chatting section, where I explain why I was gone and what I did when I was in Riyadh. So I also visited Qiddiya. Qiddiya is a future city which is built on the power of play, as they explain it. And what that means is, wait, can you hear this? Wait, one second.
Qiddiya, it's going to be a future city all around the power of play, where you have many theme parks, you have racing, Formula One, and much, much more. You can check it online, of course, in Google. We now have like an experience, an introduction to what Qiddiya is going to be. So we're in this center over here, and it is just a informative experience, because outside they are still building, they are still creating the fundamentals of what Qiddiya is going to be. And I think it should be finished by 2030. It's 135 billion SAR investment, which divided by 4 in euros should be about like what, 35 billion euros that is, and dollars kind of. So it's a big investment, but it looks very important.
Yeah, so we were in Qiddiya, and yeah, so it's check it online. I really recommend it. It's good. There's going to be roller coasters, art. It's going to be completely, like, everywhere you go, power of play. Like, it's a very impressive city they're building there, of course, costing an insanely amount of money. Then I saw this on the highway home, by the way. Look at this. A camel on the back of a Toyota truck. I mean, what's the chance? You know, what's the probabilities to see a camel on the back of a Toyota truck being towed? I mean, look at it. So we had a little giggle. Like in the Netherlands, for horses, they actually have a horse car, but here they just put a camel on the back. Wait, they're really going to build Neon City. Neon. They didn't talk about Neon. Is that the line? I'm not sure. Of course, I remember you, Sikkim. By the way, you always ask the nifty 50. But yeah, I mean, this is it's crazy, right? This camel just chilling in the back. Yeah, this is also a historical city, Diriyah. We ate at a restaurant called Mia's, where this guy, now, I mean, you can check them, nightclub.vip, they're in here, but this guy has such an amazing voice. This guy.
I know your eyes in the morning sun. I feel you touch me in the pouring rain. And the moment that you wander far from me, I wanna feel in my arms again. When you come to me on a summer breeze, keep me warm in your love while you softly leave. And it's me to show how deep is your love, how deep is your love. I really need to know.
Look.
Because we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when we all should let us be. Oh, we belong to you. And
Like,
oh, I believe in you.
look, like we were in a restaurant, right? Just chilling with a group of people from the board as well. They walked in, and they are not like people that then ask for money afterwards. They had a content team with them. They were shooting content. The restaurant let them in. They literally performed right in front of us. They're amazing. They're very, very good. Now, PUBG was there. Other games were being played as well, of course. Then we went to the Masmak Palace, which is a palace, as you can see over here, during the sunset hours, early sunset. These guys, by the way, they wanted a picture with me because I was wearing my Netherlands shirt. So you could read Netherlands on the back, which was funny. So I had a selfie. No idea who they are. But yeah, we took a selfie. This was inside the Masmak Palace. So just a couple of pictures. Saudi Arabian flag while they were praying. So that is like the praying sound. And then we went to the souk market here as well. Walking around, you know, not too much happening. Big square. And this is where I got many questions about this one. So For the people that just joined, the analysis was at the beginning. We're now at the chatting part. And I'm answering some questions by storytelling of what I was doing in Riyadh the past week. So this is Prince Faisal bin Bandar bin Sultan Al Saud. I believe is his full name. I forgot the Al Saud in the text here. So Prince Faisal, or how we just like to call him, Faisal, he's a board member, or was a board member, he now becomes an advisor of the Global Esports Federation for the past couple of years. And I'm a board member as well, so that is how I got in touch with Prince Faisal. And he is one of the princes in the country. And he is the guy that is fully invested in esports. So he does all the esports activities in the country. He's the president of the Saudi Esports Federation as well. And he hosted a dinner for us. So we had a dinner with him as well. And he is the most down-to-earth guy. Like the first time I met him was in Dubai a few years ago. And I thought I had to be very nice, right? Like, oh, how you doing, sir? His Royal Highness. And then he heard my name before we met. So he approached me and he was like, hey, Koen, like you're giving me a box and slapping the hand like this. And how are you doing? And that was the moment all the very nice, His Royal Highness, all that dropped. And yeah, we're just chilling. So like great guy, amazing person as well. Dota 2 grand final, Kazakhstan won. Congratulations, by the way. Malaysia won as well in the women division. And then on the final day, a couple of friends here, guy cleaning the windows, we're almost finished. Estonia, USA, Netherlands, and Sri Lanka over here, right? Squad. Ted, Doha Airport. I had an overlay of 5 hours on Doha. So yeah, nice quote. This is a good one for you. It is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you have failed by default. And the book that it comes from is Unscripted, which I'll show on my webcam in a second, because I have to hold the mouse as we go to the next one. They have this Mickey Mouse character, and then finally at Doha Airport they have the green. So this is what I did basically last week, right? So that was why I was in another country. This is the book, by the way. It's an entrepreneurial book. It's the follow-up of The Millionaire Fast Lane. This is my favorite author, MJ DeMarco. The book is called Unscripted. It's quite a thick book. It's the second time I'm reading it. Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Entrepreneurship. It's a great book, right? So I can definitely recommend it. And there's so many lessons in this book as well. And actually on my agenda today, I put time in my agenda to read this book for a maximum of 2 hours, but at least 1 hour. So yeah, very nice. No, very, very nice. So one of the $1 trillion family. I did not ask him how much money they have, but enough. Were you there with a +1? I was there by myself, but of course I'm there with the Global Esports Federation. So the whole board is there, over 100 countries with their member federations. Athletes were there as well. So there, many people I know. But from the Netherlands there, I mean, my fiance was at home, working. But there was someone else from the Netherlands, which was Robin, and he's the president of the Dutch Esports Federation in the Netherlands. So he was there as well, with one Dutch player playing eFootball, which was Jos. He got very sick at the end of the trip, but he made it home, luckily. He had to go to hospital. But he was able to fly back, so that's good. Okay. Well, that being said, everyone, the analysis part is at the beginning. Then we did a couple of altcoins. We did, USDT dominance was one, and then ETH, KSM, SHIB, EGLD, and SOL, which is like in the middle part of this live stream. And we ended it with some storytelling of what I did in Riyadh. Now, the probabilities of hitting that 618 are playing out. We we're about to take the double top, so one can imagine we're actually going to take it. Are we going to wait for this? I mean, It's literally on the edge of taking the double top, so it would be nice. By the way, let me quickly have a look at how many subscribers there are, because when I started the channel, and I must have it in one of my notebooks. Let me have a quick look here. I must have written it down somewhere. Where is it? I don't know. Maybe I found it. Because I just want to show, or at least, I suppose, say, that we are now at 5,583 subscribers, which is insane. And it's almost the 31st of December. And I had, when I made a bit of a plan for the channel early this year, because the channel started on the 20th of February, based on some other channels and some calculations, I was like, you know what, my target for the channel by the end of the year. So I don't really like to look at numbers because I want to focus on the quality of the content, but I did have a certain subscriber goal in mind, I suppose, which was 5,600. And I actually want to show you, but I think I can't just find it on the dot because it's in one of, like, I think it's in a notebook and not actually in this little note block that I have here. But we're literally on the edge of hitting 5,600, which is nutty. It's really crazy. So thank you everyone for joining the channel as a subscriber or member, of course, and hanging around here. It's been a crazy ride this year. So crazy that I might change my plans for next year. Now we might actually catch price taking the double top. Would be quite nice. Lucas, 7.7 kilometer of walking. Very nice, very nice. Look at this guy. I think Lucas is the fittest guy in the chat here. I was driving, could not join from the beginning, but I will review. That's okay, Adrian. We were looking for price, general probabilities to the upside or continue ranging, but Sears at 618, increasing probabilities of a 3-waver, bullish CVDs, upside. No? The best predictions. Thanks, Gwendy Zoo. Of course, no financial advice, but I'm happy to give my probabilities and insights to all of you. Now, come on. Literally a few seconds. New candle. And I'm not sure, like, if I want to wait. Imagine we're now going to range here for the next hour. You know what I mean? So I think we're just going to end it here. So for everyone that just joined, the analysis is at the beginning, and yeah, come. Took the double. Did it? Oh, literally on. Are you serious? Same high? Oh, never mind. There we go. So we did. Took it live on stream. Very nice. And now we just observe the reaction now. So we just wait. Keep the flat in mind as well. That's the bearish scenario. Let's first observe the reaction here. If you can pass the blue box, looking for gold, and then observe the reaction there. So, and there we go. There we go. Very nice. Perfect. Of course, we also have still the bigger bullish CVD divergences, but a few divergences have now played out because price now took the double top. So the bullish divergences we had here played out as price took this high. Locally, bullish CVD here also played out as we took the high. which only leaves the bullish CVDs we have literally with this uptrend, higher low in price, lower low on the CVD, but then the target are these highs here. So there's still the potential for, if you go that high, for a flat. But for now, you want to, as price is pumping, what I always like to say from an Elliott Wave point of view is wait for a range. You want to wait for a range to form, and then the range will give us probabilities again of what will happen next. But as long as price keeps pumping and not gives us at least a bit of a range, like a longer sideways structure, there's no reason to not extend looking for higher. So as long as we don't get a longer range, there's no reason to look for lower again. So yeah, let's wait patiently, and the moment we get a bit of a solid rejection or a range, probabilities will be reassessed. But at the moment, we simply look for up. We are at resistance now, of course. So yeah, thank you everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate your time as well here, spending your afternoon, morning, night, wherever you live, here on the charts with me. And we did the Bitcoin analysis at the beginning, and then we did USDT dominance, ETH, KSM, SHIB, GLD, and Solana. So you can check that out as well. And then we went into my story of what I actually did in Riyadh. Prince Kun. I better not get used to that, else you got to call me like that every time. No, there's no way. I got a friend of mine happens to be the prince, yes, but I'm not going to go into the same title. I'm not in the same bracket there. If I enter Saudi Arabia, I'm not at that level. I like that one. But thanks everyone for hanging out. Appreciate your time. Make sure you trade safe, and let's see what happens. I will give you the next update at 7 p.m. Central European time. So let's see where price is at that moment. And it's going to be quite simple that if price is just going to keep pumping, then at 7 p.m. The micro will, we can't do a micro analysis, but we still do the medium time frame and the low time frame based on the price action we get in the upcoming hours, because things might change. So let's see what we get. Thanks for being here. And I'll catch you on at 7 p.m. Central European time, but then a video update, right? Regular video update. So bye-bye.